Hi, and welcome to Healthy Living. My name is Cheryl McWilliams. Our guest today is Dr. Timothy Howe, an internal medicine specialist at Parkview Adventist Medical Center. Welcome, Dr. Howe.
Thank you.
So, it seems like people in our nation literally are spending millions, if not billions of dollars on vitamin supplements, herbal supplements, all of this kind of thing. And that's our topic for today, because I find it very interesting that we're taking pills and potions when many of these things are actually available in our food.
That's true, they are. It's about a $20 to $30 billion business.
Wow.
Not only do we have vitamins for you and for me and for all of our friends, we even have vitamins for our pets that you can get in a little pill form, and
Really?
all sorts of different potions and things that we can get as food additives, or you know, it's like you must not be healthy if you don't have at least 5 pill bottles with different supplements in them for your health. It's a very, very big business.
Well, weekly I get information in the mail. I even have some friends lately who've gotten into multi-marketing, selling a vitamin this or potion of that. It is a big business, but I always seem to go back to, well, aren't these things available in our food? Shouldn't I be eating food? And if so, which foods should I be eating?
Everything that we need for health is indeed found in our food. If you go way back in the history of medicine to Hippocrates, Hippocrates said, "Let food be your medicine, and let medicine be your food." Very good advice. And it's really the take-home lesson of our talk today. Let food be your medicine, and let medicine be your food.
So there are certain vitamins which folks are taking because some research has shown that particular vitamins are useful for particular diseases. For example, vitamin E. I've heard in many locations and places that vitamin E helps to prevent cardiovascular disease. So folks are rushing out and they're buying vitamin E.
The story about vitamin E is an interesting one, and as in many, in fact most of our studies on vitamins, what we found is if you look at the vitamin E intake in people's diets, those that have the highest vitamin E intake have the lowest rates of heart disease. And so we say, well, that's great. Now we're going to supplement this. And for many years, cardiologists and internists like myself recommended vitamin D as a part of a usual diet to prevent heart disease. What we found out, however, is that vitamin E does not lower your risk of having a heart attack. And what's even more frightening is it does raise your risk of a hemorrhagic stroke. A hemorrhagic stroke is a condition where a blood vessel in your brain breaks and you get blood outside of where it should be, and then you've got problems because you have a stroke that can really cause major damage. So I don't recommend vitamin E supplementation for any of my patients.
Wow.
There's no benefit that we can measure, and there is harm. So the downside, harm; the upside, none. The other problem with vitamin E, and this is true in many of the supplements, is usually we only get one type of vitamin E in the pill. How many types are in nature? 8 different types of vitamin E, or tocopherols. And some of the tocopherols will lower the risk of, for instance, of prostate cancer, while others seem to raise it. And so you say, well, then I'm just going to get the right kind. No, what you want, and it's the same story throughout all of this information, is what you want is balance. And we find that balance in food, just like Hippocrates said thousands of years ago.
There are some individuals say, well, you can't really get it from the food because the soil has been so depleted, so the food doesn't have any vitamins anymore.
That's not true. What is true is our food that is grown in our depleted soils, and there are some depletion, their soils are depleted to some extent, but what they're depleted in is not so much the vitamins and the antioxidants as the minerals. The mineral content is lower. And so people say, well, I need minerals.
Right.
No, I wouldn't recommend that either unless you have a known deficiency that's been discovered by your physician and you're correcting a known deficiency. You could, of course, just eat a little bit more of that tomato, and if it only had half as much or a third as much, double your intake and you'll do just fine. The other option that you have, which I think is a very good option, is to eat organic produce whenever you can, because when it's from organic soil, the nutrient content of the fruit or the vegetable is usually higher.
And you're less likely to get genetic modified food with organic.
You're much less likely to get the GMO food from organic, of course. The problem is organic is more expensive. And so some people say, well, I'm just going to forget it. Well, you can always grow your own. Growing your own vegetables is a wonderful thing. We talked previously about the importance of vitamin D. You can get that from the sunshine while you're out in your garden. You can get much better produce from the garden as well.
And backyard gardens or porch gardens are easy to do. You can do it in a pot. You don't have to have a big plot of land.
You can grow beautiful tomatoes in a pot. You don't have to have any dirt except what's in the pot. And in 2 or 3 pots, you can get enough tomatoes for the summer season and do very well.
And with the price of food going up, it makes sense to grow some of these things ourselves.
There's a whole new term there. It's called a locavore. That doesn't mean you're loco. It means you're getting your food locally. Okay. And if we're wanting to reduce our carbon footprint, if we're wanting to care for the earth, getting our food locally so we don't have to transport it as much as possible is a very good idea. And grow your own really does help with that as much as you can. Buy local when you can. It's not particularly better for your nutrition, but it is good, especially if it's organic. And we need to think in larger issues today when we think about health, not only our own health, but the health of those who are growing the food, the health of the environment, the health of the earth.
They certainly say that green is the new black.
Yes, green is the new black if black is the bottom line. And we want to have our homes green, our gardens green, to think environmentally. That's very important when we're thinking about supplements as well.